Greetings, Minecrafters, Nonsanity here, and welcome to another episode of Modern Skyblock 2 here on the FTOG community server. Why am I whispering? Because I don't want to shout in your face. And why am I in your face? Because I don't want you to see what I've done between episodes. Let's get started. Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff between episodes. Probably more than I should have, but it was a lot of waiting for things and trying to get stuff that takes time and just slow, incremental things. So we're just going to run through everything and I'll catch you up on what I've been doing. So, the first thing I wanted to do was upgrade this sucker over here. I know in a lot of my older episodes, people are saying, "Why are you using Primus? Use the double. Why aren't you using the double? You use the triple. Upgrade your stuff." So I wanted to upgrade, and I wanted Manulin. Manulin needs Ardite, and Ardite. Where is the? There it is. Requires magma cream, and there's only couple ways to make magma cream. Starlit infusion, I haven't done any astral sorcery yet. Pulverizer, magma block, but you make magma block from magma cream, so that's no good. And chemical reactor, which I'm not that far along in Tech Reborn. So, well, I have never looked at that recipe. I didn't have the power for it. So I thought I'd just have to get a magma cream from the source. So I made an end portal. Not end portal. Nether portal. Now, when you go through the nether portal, it's a void there, too. So, I had to build out. Now, I built out of cobble half slabs. And I made a basic mob farm. And then I camped on it all night. And, well, if you notice, this isn't cobble. That's because the nether got reset. So, before I could gather my loot, it was reset. Aha. So I had to rebuild it again out of snowbrick this time because I like snow in the nether. And I made it bigger, which is good because I made it large enough that ghasts actually spawn in here. I get... That hasn't been running long. I came in and cleared it out before. But I do get ghast tears. I have a filter on here set to get rid of golden swords, soul gems from anything, because the soul gems are added to silenced gems, but they don't do anything. They might later, but it didn't sound like anything I really want to keep tons of them on. So I'm keeping some, I'm just trashing the rest. They're really easy to get. And then some of the silenced gem swords too. I got rid of those too, because they're all fairly damaged and not too useful, generally. But I have a mob grinder from Mob Utilities, which you can turn on and off there. Takes 3 diamonds, but I got diamonds now from my cobble processing plant. And this got me a little bit of magma cream. I get about 1 an hour. It's really low quantities of it. And then, because my processing was so lax, I didn't get much Ardite dust for it, and I didn't get much Ardite, so I spent a lot of time waiting here for magma cream. But I eventually got enough Ardite to make the Manulin, did I see it right? Manulin condenser. Which is a lot, actually. The Manulin condenser. Right, that's a heat provider. Here we go. Condenser. That's the heater. There's the condenser. So it's 6 here and another 8 in here around a tertius. And I needed some quartz, and then these are infused with gold, or infused with redstone or glowstone. But I made it, and it gives me a really nice efficiency. I mean, I'm getting so much. I mean, just one of these now for iron acts like it did for copper. I hate to see if I put one piece of copper in here, it'd be running for days. Unfortunately, the Manulin is not very fast. But I also made an Enderium casing. So let's look at that. Let's just go to Sky here. Enderium casing takes a lot of enderium. 8 around 4 more. And how do you make enderium? Well, the way I did it was in the smeltery. When last we met, I had a minimal smeltery and was getting ready to expand it by making more bricks. I did expand it, and all I had to do was put in resonant ender, molten lead, and platinum. Now I got a little bit of platinum from the cobble factory. I can make lead, and the resonant ender you can get by melting down ender tears. Now in the current version, those no longer are getting dropped. So I don't know where you can get them from. That puts a big... I don't think you can do this in the smeltery anymore. It's going to have to wait until you get the magma crucible where you can melt down ender pearls to get the stuff. But while it was available, I did it this way, and now it's no longer available with the update. So let's go look at the smeltery. Here it is. It's bigger now. Let's look inside. It's got blood in it from various mobs that have spawned inside. What am I actually a little bit short of manulin? How to get part of an ingot of manulin? I was putting whole ingots in there. Not sure how that came to be. I'll have to break it. Let's see, I got 365 millibuckets of blood in there. And I just have 2 basins, 2 tables, one of them with a clock to have it pour out. And I made myself a lumber axe because I wanted to get a lot of wood. And, ooh, this is going to be a lot of wood. Hey, is it getting it all? It got it all. Oh, look at all this. And I just harvested this before recording started, too. So, am I full? No, it's just being a little slow. Jump you down, too. So this is I definitely don't have to worry about wood anymore. This simple tree platform with... the lumber axe. I'm also holding down the ore excavator key at the same time. I don't know if that improves things or not, but it doesn't hurt, so I do that as well. Finish putting these down and move on for our catch-up tour. Alright, yeah, you can see I've got stuff going on over here, so we'll get to that next. I think that was next in the events that transpired. Oh, full up on wood. I'll have to put some in there. Alright. So yeah, I upgraded this so I can make lots of metals, and I've got... Oops. Got lots of metals now. Some of the cobalt and ardite. Cobalt I just made in here, and ardite I made in here. Now, how did I get more ardite? Once I had this with its multiplication, you can... Let's look at it for the ardite in particular. So magma cream and 2 glowstone nuts gets you an ardite. And that will, now with the new casing, that will get me a lot of ardite ingots. You can also ground down one of those ingots, just one, with some glowstone dust, and get one more of these. Put that back in, and you get even more ardite out. So now that I've got 1 ardite, I don't need any more magma cream. So yes, I don't have to hang out at that mob farm anymore. So I updated this, got lots of metals. Then I went over and I updated this one as well. I stuck the enderium combustion heater in there, and it was so much slower. Why? Because these take different amounts of power. So if we look at what I had in there, which was the bronze, I think, and it says 14 FE per heating unit. So that's how much power it uses to make 1 point of heat. And it can take 1,680 FE per tick. So if I can give it that much, divide that by 14, and that's how much the heat goes up per tick. I was not giving it that much power. Now this one takes 176 FE to make one heating unit. It actually takes more power to heat it up, but it can take a lot more power, and it has much higher speed and efficiency. But when I put this in here with a little bit of power from the windmills I had, it was not enough. It was worse. So I said, all right, I need more power. What can I do for power? I like renewables. Let's go ahead and see about mechanism. And to start mechanism, really what you need is just a metallurgic infuser, and that I can make. Infuser. Oops. There he is. 1 osmium, 2 furnaces, 4 iron, 2 redstone. The osmium I got from this guy. You notice I added some more drawers there because I'm getting more of little tiny, like 1 or 2 of various dusts. But I had 2 of the osmium by that point. By that point I had this guy, so all I really needed was 1, and it would make me lots of osmium. So you can see I've got lots here now. But that 1 bit gets you the infuser. You put redstone over here. You put iron in here, and you get the alloys. And you put osmium in here, and you get circuits. So I don't have to make circuits using rubber anymore. I can make them in here with just 1 piece of osmium and a little bit of redstone. Great. But that also let me make these guys, the advanced universal cables. So let's go universal cables. So first you make the basic, which is 2 steel and redstone. That's easy. I could have done that ages ago. Didn't need it. I wasn't having that much power. But just because it's cheap to upgrade them with one of these enriched alloys, which like I said in the metallurgic infuser, it's iron. Put iron in there with the redstone, you get one of these out. Basically 1 piece of iron upgrades these to hold a lot more power. So I made a lot of those, and I hooked everything up with those now. And then, like I said, I wanted to be able to power this so I can have the Enderium one in there. So I made windmills. Osmium I now had enriched alloy. These energy tablets are just enriched alloy, redstone, gold. I actually had a lot of gold from the nether farm. And then, instead of making the electronic circuit with the copper cable, I can now make the basic circuit by putting osmium in the metallurgic infuser. So I had everything I needed to make the windmills. So, we will go up. And they're all jigging out now. Are they actually working? Yeah, they seem to still be working. I don't hear the sound. Oh, it's because I went into the nether. Well, I'm fine with not hearing that whooshing sound. But I have got 9 of them up here. I had a 10th. But I accidentally broke the windmill on the grinder, so I transported one down there to replace it. Because, let's go back down, these guys, their recipe has changed. They were great starting power for me, but if you're just starting the pack now, and you're watching this, the recipe has unfortunately changed. Now it takes magnalium, which requires magnesium, which can only be got through crushed stone or later through electrolyzers, taking peridot or pyrope, or an industrial centrifuge with marble dust. Yeah. Oh, right there. Got it. And marble dust is limestone in a compressor, and limestone is bone block in a compressor. So this is basically limestone. You can get it from bones with a lot of processing. But yeah, I don't have it now. I can't even make these now. And they suck compared to those guys. So yeah, I don't think that recipe change was really good for the pack. But at least I've got those now. They're better. Basically, getting to mechanism as soon as you can is a good idea. So I've got mechanism. I've got more power. As I said, I upgraded Or I moved one of the windmills over to this guy because I stupidly broke the thing without a wrench. These you can break without a wrench. They're better in every way. While I'm back here, a few changes I've made. I added this transfer node pulls the cobblestone out of, or the stone out of here and puts it in this thing to be placed and broken and processed. But I also made a lot of netherrack and I put it manually into these two chests so they'd feed down in there as well. And manually went into here and replaced most of these with netherrack so they would take priority and feed all the netherrack through. So I wanted to get more nether quartz. Other changes I made here. Like I said before, this had a problem where the cobblestone wouldn't form there. It would form one farther out because the water didn't flow. The water wouldn't I don't know what, the timing was wrong. Something happens in the pack and the lava gets all the way out here and creates the cobble right underneath these guys, which jams the whole system up. So I have these new block breakers set up over top of those spots, so if it does happen, it'll get broken. It'll get dropped to the ground, but it should just be one piece of cobble, no big deal. I had to take the levers off that was controlling them, so I replaced it with a little bit of vanilla redstone here. This redstone not only powers these breakers, but the ones that are above the normal cobblestone blocks. So when it's powered, everything is off. And the power is coming around all the way over here from this comparator on this chest. So basically, when this chest has less in it, they're running. And when it has more, they stop. So as this side uses it, up there it goes. It uses a little bit, and then it runs for a little bit, and all the chests get a little bit more added, and then it turns itself off when it catches up. So it's throttling the cobblestone production so you don't overflow. This lets me leave it running, and it's safe for the server. As long as we keep having sticks. And I had run out of sticks, and it jammed everything up. And like I said, I did expand out our storage because I was having duplicates of a lot of things, and I was getting lots of these little dusts. So what's this one? Lead, lithium, silver, chrome, osmium. That's more osmium. I already used what was in there. Magnesium. So we have one magnesium. Unfortunately, we can't duplicate it like we can the osmium. Tungsten. I think that's uranium. Yep. Nickel, aluminum, zinc, tin, titanium, iron, gold, ardite. Oh, it gets ardite too. Yellorium. Ah, look at that. We're going to do something. See, I think I wanted 98 of these. I think that's a 90. Let's get 99. Oh, wait, that's only 89. 90. I think 98 is enough. These are cool. This is going to be nice. I'm glad we can do this on camera. I wouldn't have done this off camera. This is too important. I need glowstone and redstone. I think I'm out of glowstone. So let's get some. Some of that. Some of that. Some more of that. You get to see this new unit here in full operation. So I'm going to toss in a stack of that and a stack of that. Oh, always throw in the redstone first. Now it's uneven. There we go. That is the recipe, right? It's been a while since I made the glowstone. Glowstone. Oh, no, that's right, the vile dust. Of course. Well, thankfully, I've got plenty of soul sand. I've got a new way to make it now. You take regular sand. In fact, I'm going to leave that there and just show you this new method. Since I got plenty of power, I can make it this way. Oop, missed. Put sand in front of this guy, atomic reconstructor, and you get soul sand. So much better than the other method. I do wish it would do more in one go, but it's not too bad. Oop, I broke my button. There we go, and then we just cook this up in here. And we'll have some vile dust, which I don't have. So actually I'm going to put away the... whoop. Oh, I forgot. I did finally get an ender lily. I went ahead and just did a whole lot of, not bone meal, but one of the other plant growing stuff just to get the ender lily seed. And I got one. And that's great, because you can just hit it with the plant matter and make enders. Each plant matter becomes an eye. So that's great. I mean a pearl, excuse me. Alright, so it was redstone. No, it was not redstone. I'm out of no, I got some here. Let's get some blaze powder. Check and see how the vile dust is doing. I got 21. We'll go with that for the moment. So vile dust, blaze powder. And we have some glowstone. Alright. Let's do this. Oh, I do need the redstone. I put the redstone back. Silly me. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I am excited to get this done. We'll give it a try. Alright. Recipe. I need them all converted, excuse me, to enriched chaos essence. So I need more redstone. There we go. I got 3 left over, so 24 of these. Now what can we use these for? Well, you put them around a ruby block and you get a chaos ruby. You put it around any of the others, you get a different color. So let's pick a color. Blue is nice. Sapphire. Let's see, where are my sapphires? You sapphire? Topaz. You sapphire. Tanzanite. I don't seem to have any sapphires. This is iolite. That's interesting. There's a color I don't have. Alright, well, this sapphire. Oh, too many. Yeah, these are sapphires. I guess they're, because they're ore dictionaried, it doesn't replace them. Let's get away from the cobble factory sounds. So I should be able to make a block of that. Yeah, there we go. And surround it with these guys. And we get a chaos sapphire. Now these are from Silence Gems. And what do? You have to power them up, so I'm going to have to make the thing that lets you power it. But then you can give them, not the yellow ones, these guys. Basically, potion effects. Though there's one that's not a potion effects. Flight. So we need gold and feathers and a broken shard of something. So let's just pick one I got a lot of. I guess this one. Let's get some feathers. I'm pretty sure I've got some. I got 36. I think that's enough. Oh, I gotta get gold. We got some gold. So, flight is these guys. So I have to break the shard. There we go. And that's feathers. I need 1, 2, 3 of those. I think I'm going to have everything. Really? Oh. Oh, it just uses regular chaos essence. I'm glad I still have some. I thought it was all the advanced stuff. Give me all of that except one just to save the slot. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Whoop. And you, Mr. Gold, where'd you come from? Alright, back to that. Do I have enough of those? 3, yes, good. And now that. And now that and that combined give me flight. Now I gotta charge it. If I recall correctly, there is an altar. This thing. Chaos altar. Obsidian, one of those. 2 diamonds. So I need to get some obsidian. I think I've got a little bit. Whoops, too many. Do I have 4 obsidian? I don't think I've got 4. I've only got 3. Well, we'll make a bunch over in my obsidian track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll show you that in action. Don't fall in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I can do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and do a full batch. All we gotta do is wait for the first one to melt because of the torches that are down there. You can't see them here. Those two, one of those two will melt, and then it will flow out underneath the others and cause them to melt too. But I guess I could speed it along by just putting torches under all of them. No, I thought I heard one. That was just the cobble gen, and I missed one there. Alright, we'll come back to that when they have melted. Oh wow, my Anilian lumber axe is almost out. I'll have to fix that. So yeah, we got to make this to charge this up, but then I should have creative flight, and this can go in, not in the pouch, in the baubles somewhere. Oh, it's in belt. Drat. Well, I don't really need the charm belt. It's not like there's a lot of mobs around. This is a charm belt. Since I was getting a lot of drops, I went ahead and made a... Let's pull them out here so I can get the tooltips. A zombie pigman charm and a zombie charm. Because I was getting tons of the zombie drops. The zombie pieces that you need to make these from the nether farm. But I don't really need it. So I will just stick it in here. Oop, go away. Any lava? We got some lava going now. Wait for it all to finish. Actually, I can speed it along by doing that. Now it'll flow out. And that will heat them up faster and get everything melting sooner. You lose the torches, but it's a small price. Alright, while we're doing that, let's go ahead and set up the next thing. We're going to have multiple things going on over here. Tiny project chest. It's time to start empowering things. So, I've got more power cable. And I've already, oops, laid out where I want all the cables to go. Two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I was coming around this side. There we go. Display stands, which I've made up. The recipe for these requires some aesthetic green blocks and aesthetic quartz. This is regular quartz and chiseled quartz, just quartz hit with a chisel. Toss them in front of the atomic reconstructor and they go into the green and white forms. And then you make 5 of those and use one of them with some Inori crystal, which is iron in front of the reconstructor, and redstonia and redstone in front of the reconstructor, and you can build the empower. Actually, the most difficult part of the empower is making these things, the advanced coils, which used to be the basic coil, which is redstonia around black quartz. That's the same. And then it would have, I think it was 4 gold nuggets or 8 gold nuggets, I couldn't remember. But now it's the silky cloth from Tinker's Construct, which requires 8 string each around a block of gold. So that's 8 gold and a whole stack of string for each one of these, and there's like a whole lot of them in this recipe. So I had to go through a lot of string. So I'm going to put these down like that. We're going to break this and get the stuff that's in it. And put down the display stand right here in the middle. So what I want to do is make empowered redstonia. So there's a block of redstonia. Always do blocks because the other materials are the same cost. I mean, it's the same items, whether it's a block or an item. Might as well do 9 at once because some of these take a little bit to do. Ah, yes, and one of them took a lot to do. Redstone is easy. This one is easy. Redstone, resonating crystal. Nothing I haven't already done. Apple's easy. But I only had 2. Blood orb. This was the harder one. Here we go down the rabbit hole a bit more. It requires Evilcraft's blood infuser with a promise of tenacity 1 and an empty orb. And blood. 3,500 blood. So, and I'm going to get this going. Maybe. These are the ones that get powered, yeah. That one does not get powered. Let me check the recipe again. Blood orb. I have redstone. Oh, it's not the reds. It's red nether brick. I put the wrong thing on there. Red nether brick is the new brick. That's just nether bricks with some nether wart to make the red nether brick. That's the other thing that goes on there. There it goes. So we'll let that run while I show you Evilcraft. Now, all the animals have been turned off on this server. And we have other recipes in order to get things. To get the book for Evilcraft, we have a recipe now. Don't know if it'll show up in here. No, that's not the book. There's the book. Yeah, it doesn't show up in JEI, but for us, I craft a book with a black gem, and you get the Origins of Darkness. That's the manual. So I made that, but I sort of remembered what I had to do. I went ahead and I made this thing, the blood extractor. Actually, I made 5, because the recipe for it requires these spikes, glass, and a dark gem. And the spikes, you get 16 for 1 dark gem and 1 iron. So I went ahead and made 5 of these with 1 spike left over. And I merged them all together. You craft them together and it just makes a bigger blood extractor. Then I went over and I made a modification to the mob farm. I swapped the stone spikes out for wooden spikes. And at the same time I put some conveyor pads in the back. So it pushes everything to the front here. Right now I've got the stone spikes down there, so this thing runs on its own. Though I think I disabled it again. But with the wooden spikes there, I can come in and I could hit them with a sword. But this thing was in my hotbar, and it would fill up with blood. I got lots of blood. You make a 5-block pool, put 5 buckets of blood into it, and toss one of those black gems into it. And then you make a 1 pool of the blood and wait for it to congeal and light it on fire with a flint and steel. I had to do that twice to get enough. But that gives you the materials you need to make this guy, the blood infuser, which you can put the blood from the extractor into. And then, yeah, rabbit hole, people, rabbit hole. Then I made the promise of tenacity, which just requires more blood and some grinding up as the black gems. In the big industrial grinder back there, I tried using the actually additions grinder, and it didn't work. It gave me something different that was useless. So use the big grinder from Immersive Engineering to grind up the gems to make this thing. Then I could put the empty blood orb in there, which is iron and glass. And that got me the blood orb for the recipe. And it's still running over here, despite the power I've got. Well, I don't have any battery storage, so it's only what it's making right now. Yeah, and these are just sort of going on there. You can see the spark every now and then as it continues to work. So it'll get there eventually, and that'll be good. Because if I want to make just a piston requires empowered redstonia crystal. So once this is done, I can make 9 pistons. Or some amount of pistons and other things that use that redstonia, because a lot of machines do use pistons. Rolling machine is the one I need, and that uses 4 pistons. Thankfully for these advanced circuits that use the palace and the empowered redstonia, no. Don't use mechanism. My one metallurgic infuser can let me make these. That's great. I need 4 pistons, some more circuits, basic machine frames. Yeah, I got everything except the pistons. And I can make the rolling machine, and then the rolling machine can make buckets. And with buckets, you can make a lot of stuff that you couldn't make before. Oh, the quantum tank. I think it needs an extra controller to make it work. You can make the fluid transfer nodes. You can make various trash cans that do liquids. That'll be good for the coke oven over there. Yeah, buckets were a big limiter. Osmium compressor, mechanism stuff. I don't remember exactly which one prompted me to say, all right, now is the time to make the bucket. But there's a lot of uses for the bucket. There was something else I needed a material for. Let's check out that rolling machine. Was there another material in there that I needed? No. So what was it that needed the Dawnstone? Something in my immediate needs required Dawnstone ingot. Or Dawnstone plate, I think, actually. Let's see here. Most of these are embers. Oh, that's all embers. Alright, maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe that recipe has changed with the update. Yeah, I don't know. There was something I thought I needed to do embers for, but now I am not seeing it. Unless, oh, nope, there it is. The redstone reception coil. To get into thermal foundation, you need Dawnstone. So that is a gate preventing me from doing thermal foundation. So we're going to have to do some embers. This is not a project chest. What this is some ember shards. Did I go ahead and make the ember excavator to get these? No, I did not, because there's another way to do it. Using the combustion chamber, if you put the crystal shards in with 13 blaze powder, you get 7 ember shards. So I made a bunch. That's cheap for me. Basically free. Sand and flint will get me all the materials I need, and that comes from the cobble factory, so it's basically free. Just needs a little bit of power and elbow grease. So with the ember shards, we can go ahead and do some ember over here. But I think that may have to wait for next episode. And this is still going. I wish there was a progress bar on this piece. But that still has not been added. All I can see is how much power it's consuming right now. So we'll just give it more time. More time. Is there anything else? I did expand these guys. Far more of these stone drums. Stone drums are cheap. Just so that this thing is not going to back up and stop. Not that it's running at the moment. I've got a whole stack of steel here. How much is in here? Over a stack. So I should put that back and give me a stack. I could prep it up for the next time. Actually, I've got so much iron, I might as well just start it processing now. Toss this in and take out an iron. Look at all that. It's great. You make me more steel. Oh, the lava. Let's go check on the lava. Looks like it's all done. So let's climb up here. Walk over to the middle. In my bag, I've got my super soaker. Crouch. And it has to update. So I'll just put another one. And suck it up. And suck this one up. Maybe. Oh. I put it up too high. There we go. Oop. Now I should be able to suck it up. Nope, gotta really have it right there at the bottom of it, huh? Come on. Soak it up. Alright, forget it, we'll just break it. Alright, so now we got all this in here, and we can just use right in the middle, set to, I'm holding down the ore excavator key, and this is way too slow. Do I have... You know, I never made a better pick. Oh wait, of course it's slow because I haven't chiseled it all yet. And that's the wrong chisel. That's going to make bits out of it. Now this is the one we need. And we just go... There we go. Now hold down the ore excavator. That's a little bit faster. And we will have lots of cobble, and I can make the flight. I can make the altar. And start my flight gem charging. Boom. And let's put down some torches so nothing spawns in here, and it's ready for next time. Let's get out. Alright, we do have to chisel these back. Like so. And now let's make that altar. So back to silence gems. This guy, make it. I think I'm just going to put it down here. And you just put the... Oh, it's in my... Oop. It's in my bauble still. Put you on there? No, just put you on like that. And I think it needs fuel. What does it take for fuel? It's going to take blaze? No. Let's get some... Do I have some charcoal? I don't think I got some in here. A little bit. Just see if it wants charcoal. Burnable? No. It takes something else. What does it take? I forget. Does it want one of these gems? Probably not. That seems odd. Nope. Oh. Nope. Alright, let me look this up and I'll be right back. Alright, I remember. I don't know what this slot is for. There probably is something you can put there, but the way to get this thing power is to make these. They don't have any texture, but they're the passive chaos pylons or the burner chaos pylons. Burners when you can give them fuel, but they take a passive. So I want to make two passives to start with. So that's obsidian, which I now have. Lapis, I can grab some right quick. And more of these enriched chaos essence are in a block of quartz. So let's get 8 of this. And 8 quartz. And then we can make the quartz blocks. And we can surround them with these guys. And then obsidian and lapis. And it's unfortunate that they don't have textures, but they do show up in the world. So now they should be getting some power. Yep, there it goes. And we get some particle effects, yes? Yeah. They're coming towards me. Why are they coming towards me? Go in there. It is going in there. It is starting to charge up. Slowly but surely. Now we can upgrade these to the type that lets you feed in fuel. With a little bit more obsidian, redstone, and another one of these chaos cores. And a furnace. And I might do that later. I think I'd have to get more obsidian. But for now, this is starting to work. Let's give it a try, even though it doesn't have much in it. Ready? Oh, we got to crouch, right-click to activate it. I'm flying! I'm flying! Woohoo! Hello! I'm glad I still have my boots, though. It just ran out, I think. Now, it is nice in that when it is charged, and it is completely empty. No, not completely empty. Let's crouch, click again. Alright, so I just disabled it. Up there, it just ran out. When you're using it and you're flying, it's using the power. But as soon as you land, it stops using power, even if you leave it on. Oh, it looks like these things are charging it up in my inventory. Yeah, look at that. Each one of those particle bursts is like 500 points. So they're giving me 1,000 combined. About once every 5 seconds. So that's good. Even so, as long as I have them here where I usually am working, they'll keep it topped off. And I'll make more of those so it runs faster. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and toss it in there just so that I'm not tempted to use it while it's charging anymore. But yes, we have the capability of creative flight. Sweet. That is awesome. That is a big milestone. And is that thing done? It's still not done. I want this to be done for the episode. Well, let's look at a little bit of embers real quick. Not everybody has done this mod yet. Beam cannon, ember activator. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a lot of materials together for that. That'll be next episode, definitely. So, I guess we're going to have to let this keep running. I do have power, but this thing uses a lot of it. How much does this recipe cost? Does it say? Click here for more information. Really, it doesn't say anymore? Somewhere it used to tell you how much, like it was written down here or something, but that's disabled. So I have no idea how much power it takes or how long it's going to take. But it's working. It'll get there eventually. You'll see it next time, because I've got to go. It's a long episode. Thanks for being with me, and I'll try and keep you more up to date as I'm doing things, but oh man, there's so much to do. I love it. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Take care, be good, and see you next time.